the National Day of Truth and Reconciliation is about to come to an end. Can you imagine that they've turned well, it's a mocking ritual. They had to take the entire day off for this. As they continue to kidnap our sons and our daughters for corporate profit. So this is a notification that went out recently to immediately cease and desist the malicious prosecution, the mortgage fraud, and the trespass on the stolen property. No consent and legal duties. It's a formal lawful mandate to take notice that I can't consent to any further facilitation of criminal conduct against me, my life, or our family's property. We've got intentional acts by handfuls constituting ongoing mortgage fraud, trespass, racketeering, mischief-causing danger to life. Any further enabling of these life-threatening offenses makes each individual involved complicit. So then I have to try to notify them that I don't consent to any further participation, complicity, or facilitation of mortgage fraud. Well, when the ears are deaf, there's got to be a repeat. It's an urgent situation. I needed them gone. They need to be gone. Any delay or inaction on your part constitutes willful facilitation of ongoing criminal activity, exposure to potential professional liability, and complicity in acts of Parliament that Parliament recognizes as life-threatening mischief under Criminal Code Section 430. You're directed as officers of the court and members bound by statutory policy, natural law, professional codes governing your conduct to immediately cease all facilitation of these unlawful acts and to remove the trespassers by today. So these are the binding obligations of these individuals. BC Code of Professional Conduct. Have you heard these? They have all these codes and all these rules. They don't follow any of them. So they're supposed to uphold the law and promote the cause of justice? Because let's remember how many individuals that were contacted about the fraudulent foreclosure. You had the then acting BC Attorney General, David Eby, notified by registered mail. You had the then acting Deputy Attorney General, Richard Fife, notified by registered mail. You had the then acting Chief Justice of BC, Melissa Gillespie, notified by registered mail. You had the entire coven acting as the BC Law Society, notified by registered mail, because I have a duty to stop crime, whether it's against myself or someone else. It's a non-negotiable duty. That's how you keep peace in your communities. That's how you serve each other. That's what normal, healthy people do. That's how normal, healthy people act. And every single one of them, they were like, you had the Federal Human Rights Commission. They were notified of what was happening. They didn't fucking care. You had the BC Tenancy Branch here. They knew. Didn't fucking care. What the fuck is going on down here? There's zombies. They're fucking zombies. You've got armed and dangerous, oozing orifices. Repeatedly outfitted as SWAT. They've got fucking power tools. Break-in instruments. Fucking deadly weapons. Fucking AK fucking 47s. To come after me. Who does that? What the fuck is wrong with you? Do you ask yourselves what's wrong with you? Or is that just way too fucking deep for you? I mean, that would just never enter your mind, obviously, to ask yourself what is wrong with you. What is wrong with you? Do you even know who you are? Because that's what really life is all about, to find out who you are. Who are you? Fucking what the fuck are you? This is not a spiritual battle, man. This is fucking hand to cloven hoof combat here. That's what's going on here. These aren't fucking well, I guess they are. A form of ghost coming to the door. Following me around everywhere I go. Obsessively fucking watching me. And for what reason? Because I said something about corruption? Really? Because look at all these rules. Integrity rule. You must act with integrity. What? Duty to the court. Duty to the court. Okay. You must act with candor, fairness, courtesy, and respect toward the tribunal. Oh, wait a minute here. Oh, they have to be kind to each other. It's a brotherhood, right? You must not knowingly assist in or encourage any dishonesty, fraud, crime, or illegal conduct. Willful blindness is no defense. So how the fuck is David Eby and Richard Fife and Melissa Gillespie and Del Manick and Francisco Aviles and the 5 brainless beast benchers who I try to have a constructive conversation with, how are they going to get out of their guilt? Because your guilt remains. You can't run from it. You can't hide from it. Your guilt is there. You did what you did. You can't undo it now. It's sitting there. And once the act is committed, we're not going to fucking try this in one of your fucking your synagogues of Satan. Why would we do that? You already did what you did. You pled guilty the second you did it. We're going to try the allegations. There's no allegations. The crime is done. What do you have to say for yourself? Oh, you're going to choose to remain silent? So then you can't be public servants. Because that's ridiculous. You have a duty to act. A duty. There's no way you're getting out of it. A lawyer must not be reckless in permitting a client or any other person to use a lawyer's services to commit fraud or other illegal conduct, which is why I kept saying something, and I did all that work. Well, no one will ever see all the work I put into it. Like, no one was there when I did all of that, except the one who sent me here. Advocacy. You must represent clients resolutely but honorably within the limits of the law. Well, you're not practicing law. You must not abuse the process of the court. Okay, so this malicious prosecution that was started last August, that's exactly what they're doing. They're abusing the process of the court to come after me for being a whistleblower. And now the day has come and the day has passed, because now we're at October the 1st. Right, it's now 12 a.m. First day of October. Mandatory reporting. A lawyer must report to the Law Society any participation in criminal activity related to the lawyer's practice. So you had lawyers in Nanaimo who knew what was going on, who fucking chose to do nothing about it and report nothing. You had multiple law firms here in Victoria who knew. One of them was Dominique Alford. She knew exactly what was going on and participated in the fraud on the court. She had an opportunity to stop it. She had an opportunity to report what was going on and chose not to. League and Williams, there's another one. They all knew what was happening. They didn't fucking care. Listen, there's fucking close to $1 million to steal. They're not going to stop that. It's their buddies doing it. A lawyer must report conduct that raises a substantial question as to the honesty, trustworthiness, or competency of another lawyer. Well, fuck, there you go again. And how about all these fucking fictitious plaintiff crown actors who are coming at me with these ridiculous, fucking vexatious, frivolous, scandalous, without fucking merit allegations that I'm criminally harassing the criminals using my stolen property. Willfully resisting? I have a fucking duty to resist. A duty. To resist these high-risk repeat offenders who are guilty of causing serious personal injury offenses against my family. You think I'm going to fucking roll over and let you fucking take me without a fight? I'm not a coward, as tiny as I am. Tiny and tired. Oh, fuck, the basic code. Oh, the code commentary makes it clear that silence or inaction in the face of criminality or misconduct is itself a violation. Well, fuck, they don't follow any of this. None of it. Professional misconduct guidance. The Law Society has emphasized that discovery of criminal activity connected to illegal practice must be reported immediately. Well, there's no fucking point in doing that. They don't fucking care. A call fucking last year after I've been attacked by Laura Wheeler, a false fucking liar, acting as the fiction. It's a fictitious plaintiff, man. You can't move anything in that court. Laura Wheeler, do you have any fucking first-hand knowledge of what you're talking about? And where did you get all that information? Because everything you said was a lie. Every fucking thing you spoke onto that record was a lie. And I'm sitting there listening to it all. Going, holy fuck, here we go again. You just will not fucking stop with the lies. And a lie is the equivalent of setting off a fucking atomic bomb. That's why you don't tell lies. That's why. Well, there's a clause of global warming. There it is right there. It's not difficult to figure out. And then you've got, now I don't know how many more we've got involved in all of this. They're subject to investigation and discipline for professional misconduct, which includes failure to prevent fraud, abuse of court process, and criminal acts when within their knowledge. Well, how many times have I said something? Last year, I explained all of this to I'm so tired. Give me a sec. Beg pardon. There was a female appointed to this malicious prosecution. And I explained what was happening. And it doesn't care. Like, it doesn't do what it's supposed to do, report the fraud, report the trespassing, report the mortgage fraud. There's all these fucking oversight bodies. Literally fucking hundreds of them to prevent this kind of ugliness. and I'm the only one saying something? Chantel Sutton. And then I talked to one of its friends, one of its colleagues in June, in the middle of June. I think it's Jordan Watt, who's trying to convince this woman who knows exactly what the fuck is going on that I'm not being offered a contract. Yeah, no, that's exactly what this is. This is a commercial administrative process. You don't know that? Of course you do. You need my consent to move, and you don't have it. I'm not going to give it to you. You're fucking now involved in serious fucking crime, dude. And then I've got the bencher that day threatening me. Oh, fucking threatening me, like, outrageous fucking threats, uttering threats. If you don't have any first-hand knowledge of what you're talking about, you need to shut your face. And not one of you three, out of all four of us, has any first-hand knowledge of what's going on here. I do. Like, who the fuck are you fooling? You're not fooling this woman. You can't fool us. This is why the world doesn't want us here. Can't have us here. Will not welcome us here. Which is cool, because we can't be friends with this world anyway. No, the place is fucking sick and twisted. Sick and fucking twisted. Like, it's beyond, it's... She's so far off into the ditch, there's just no way. Criminal Code of Canada, so now you've got parties to offense, counseling offense. You've got fraud, you've got mischief, you've got mischief causing danger to life. Oh my God. Conspiracy, intimidation, they're doing all of it. The principle that fraud vitiates everything is fundamental. No court or officer of the court has authority to enforce, ignore, or participate in fraud, and yet, holy fuck, look at them go. Under natural law, which would be the only law that our people would, that's what we're expert in. That's what we're here to explain. We're the walking, talking natural law. We're the mirror that they don't want to look into. That's who we really are. We walk into a room and fucking the entire atmosphere shifts. Did we mean for that to be like that? No. But that's just the way it is. No man or woman has the right to profit by deceit or trespass at the expense of another's life or property. And yet I live with the pain of being a mother of a forced adopted, highly marketable son, and I live with the pain of having everything that my spouse and I worked to have and enjoy. Everything that he left me, it's all been fucking tainted and defiled. All of it. Like, there's nothing that hasn't been fucking touched and defiled. Any officer of the court who refuses to act against fraud or trespass violates not only statutory duties but also natural obligations to preserve life, freedom, and property. Oh, okay, well, they don't really give a fuck about that if it's going to make them money. So then I'm like, well, you gotta stop, because here's the deal. Bar members don't work for you. Their first obligation is to their friends. So if that gets in the way of what's going on with you, you're taking the back seat. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not standing fucking shoulder to shoulder with these gamers. The vagrants, they don't give a fuck about you or your life or your rights. You don't have any rights. This is an administrative process. There are no rights here. It's you, and you're about to get railroaded, because that's how we fucking racketeer. It's a court. It's our court, not your court. Reporting to authorities. You have to report all relevant criminal and fraudulent acts, including full disclosure of any complicity or knowledge of ongoing unlawful acts. RCMP law enforcement authorities, including evidence of ongoing trespass, mortgage fraud, and threats to my life and property. That you have to withdraw from any proceeding or representation that would place me at further risk or facilitate ongoing criminality while taking steps to preserve my property and special interests. Removal of trespassers. Consequences of failure. On the record, as the witness, the warning, and the weapon against the wicked. Well, that's who we are. And you got to know that the truth is a weapon, because why else are they sending out the SWAT swarm? Repeatedly, continually. Equals have no authority over equals, but a public servant isn't your equal. A public servant is beneath you, under you. Public servants, the politicians, all the actors wearing costumes, all the actors with these fictitious titles, they're not your equal. They're not equal to men and women. They're playing a role. It's like going to the circus. They're fucking clowns. Like, you think I'm going to consent to being equal to a clown? That would never happen. Never. So what's happened now with the public servants across Canada, whether it's federal, provincial, or municipal? I don't know who the fuck has trained these monkeys, but they are not trained properly. They don't understand where they are in the pyramid. Right? You want to talk about pyramids? They love Egypt. They're at the bottom. But now they've decided that they want to be in a different position than what they deserve to be in. Government powers rest on the consent of the governed. Public servants are corporate actors. They're there to generate revenue. So they can get their 6-figure paycheck. And then, of course, they're working on a pension. And who funds all of that? Their neighbors do. With their blood, sweat, and tears. Contract consent and commercial law. So here's what's happening now. Like, I've had to send out a communication today explaining that as the victim of the crime, I would be the authority over whatever happened. Like, I can't now go delegate my power, because becoming the victim, you do have all the rights and all the power. You have to move these matters forward. You can't rely on anybody else to do it. They wouldn't have the passion to do it. They don't have the authority to do it. Because when you go into natural law, you'll realize that justice rested solely with the victim and the victim's family. They were the ones to make sure that the trespasser, the wrongdoer, the evildoer was brought to justice. In natural law, it's a balanced scale, and the victim is always made whole. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. We're not double-minded men and women. We don't live in the gray area. We don't fucking live in the maybe they did or maybe they didn't. I know exactly who touched me. I know who caused me harm. And if I don't know your name, I'm about to find out your name, because now what's happening is I have to run a forensic investigation on the Central Saanich Police Department, the Saanich Police Department. So I can't delegate my power now to say this ridiculous, fucking laughable public service calling itself the Office of the Police Complaints Commission. Were they there? No. If I tell them what happened and then they have something to say about it, that's hearsay, that's inadmissible. Do they care about justice for me? No. Why would they? I've got to get the SWAT team assault CCTV. I've got to get it. I've got to get it because the public has the right to see who Dean Murdoch and who Dean Duthie really are. You have a right to see this outrageous level of violence. It's fucking laughable. It's hilarious. All to silence one woman who knows the truth and speaks the truth. And I'm not, I'm not confused at all. That's why I do all this work and explain all of this to everybody. If what affects one affects all. It's the pebble in the pond. Corruption is not tolerable. You can't have it. You can't. I can't. You can't. We can't. But here's the problem.
So you go in.
What's up?
Well, congratulations.
It's not over yet.
Yeah, well, I'm not talking about the trial.
What are you talking about?
How the fuck does your name get on the firm's charter?
What?
It looks like it's been there for years. So now you're a partner. When did that happen? You know, I still am the managing director of this firm. You want my job? Take me head on. You backdoor me one more time, I'll take your partnership papers and I'll shove them down your throat.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I sure as hell don't like the tone of your voice.
Ah, bullshit.
You got a problem with documents? I suggest you put together one of your late-night shredding sessions.
Ah. You think you're tough enough to run this firm? Ha! Remember the Weaver Commission investigation? Tell your mentor. The next time Weaver calls me, maybe I'll just pick up the phone.
Was he drunk?
I doubt it. He was going running. What the hell was he talking about?
Eddie's got himself in trouble again. And he wants me to save him. Only this time I can't.
Well, why does he think I'm after his job?
You ever have any experience with manic depression?
Not directly, no.
Oh, you do now.
346.
It's me. Get Eddie Barzoon. He may be out running, so you might have to page him. It's an emergency.
Yes, sir.
You look like you could use a drink.
Yes. Yes, thanks.
Eddie Barzoon, Eddie Barzoon. Ha! Ah, I nursed him through 2 divorces, a cocaine rehab, and a pregnant receptionist. God's creature, right? God's special creature? Ha! And I've warned him, Kevin. I've warned him every step of the way. Watching him bounce around like a fucking game, like a wind-up toy. like 250 pounds of self-serving greed on wheels. The next 1,000 years is right around the corner, Kevin, and Eddie Barzoon. Take a good look.
Excuse me.
Because he's the poster child for the next millennium. These people, it's no mystery where they come from. You sharpen the human appetite to the point where it can split atoms with its desire. You build egos the size of cathedrals, fiber optically connect the world to every eager impulse, grease even the dullest dreams with these dollar green, gold-plated fantasies until every human becomes an aspiring emperor, becomes his own god. And where can you go from there?
Hey, wrong way. Yeah. Fuck you.
And as we're scrambling from one deal to the next, who's got his eye on the planet? As the air thickens, the water sours, even the bee's honey takes on the metallic taste of radioactivity. And it just keeps coming, faster and faster.
Oh, fuck! Help! Stop it!
There's no chance to think, to prepare. It's buy futures, sell futures, when there is no future. We got a runaway train, boy. We got 1 billion Eddie Barzoons all jogging into the future. Every one of them getting ready to fist fuck God's ex-planet, lick their fingers clean as they reach out toward their pristine, kybernetic keyboards to tote up their fucking billable hours. And then it hits home. You gotta pay your own way, Eddie. It's a little late in the game to buy out now.
Give me your watch.
What? I like this watch. You think you're just gonna have to try and take it?
Your belly's too full, your dick is sore, your eyes are bloodshot, and you're screaming for someone to help. But guess what? There's no one there. You're all alone, Eddie. You're God's special little creature. Maybe it's true. Maybe God threw the dice once too often. Maybe he let us all down.
Do you understand? So the bankers and the politicians and the priests and the mayors and the MLAs and the MPs. 80 Barzoons. It's a little late in the game to buy out now. Look what you've done. Every word is recorded, every act. They believe they're doing it in the dark. They're not. It's all recorded. What the fuck have you done? And why do you continue to do it? I see our people are the guy that told Eddie Barzoon, hey, you're going the wrong way. And the arrogant, the wicked, they will not take a correction. Stiff-necked. And every single one of them gets the warning. Even the longest rope has an end. They've done it all. To me. To my son, to my spouse. To our lives, to our legacy. To our property. Who really is the problem? So they've been blowing up my phone. Calls, text messages for the last couple of weeks. And I have, what you know about future behavior is it would be predicated on past behavior. So I've got built-in protective mechanisms. I don't like surprises. I have to go home. I've been trying for years to get out of the cage that I'm in. Not that I'm not grateful for having a roof over my head, because I am. But there's just sort of an attitude here where, you know, money still comes before what would be best for me. And that's extremely painful for me, because there was some cruel and unusual treatment that I came back to after I'd spent 4 weeks in jail. And it's not like no one's in the dark about what's happening to me. It's not like I don't say what's happening to me. That's why I do these. That's why I say something. Because I have to. It's not going to get any better. Like where the world is going, where it's headed, it just doesn't get any better. The wicked don't change. You can't change them. They're born that way. But enough is enough, right? Let's see here. What else do we have? So we sent out well, if you don't know who you are, how do you express your standing? And this is what I'm explaining to them. Like, listen, I've gone down that road where you call up these fucking agencies and someone's supposed to help you. They don't help you. They just push you off onto another agency. Statutory duties. Well, according to their rules, these are their rules that they agreed to follow when they got hired. You have to disclose to me the records, the court records, the police records, whatever you got. I need to see it. Because you, and if you don't, then you're committing obstruction of justice and willfully resisting a peace officer. Yes, all of our people are peace officers. We would be the ones who understand peace, what it is and what it isn't. So they all know the house is being stolen. I don't care, and I'm out March 19th to ring a ban on forced eviction. So then you've got the first SWAT assault. You've got one in August. There was another one in November. The one in the middle of June left me black and blue from head to toe. The one at the end of June left me with a black eye, missing skin on my face. And, you know, I the innocent one, the whistleblower, is then tortured and humiliated and degraded for 4 weeks. So I notice while I'm being tortured that they're now audio and videotaping all of this. Because this is how they get off. They're going to listen to it. Just like former Colonel Russell Williams took all those photos and videotaped all of his crimes. Because he's going to watch it and relive it later. They did that to me on June the 27th. So repeatedly I call for medical help. They will not call and have my eye looked at. They don't fucking care. Now, this Inspector Damien here is well aware that that warrant is canceled. He can see that it's not endorsed so he can see they can't move on it. He was there that day, and I called on him repeatedly to do something about what was happening. I called repeatedly for Dean Duffy. I called repeatedly for the sergeant on duty. Each and every one of them had a non-negotiable obligation to step in and let me out of that cage. So I need that footage, and we all need to watch it together and listen to what I had to say to them. They are fucking obsessed with our people. And not in a good way. So I gotta be careful here. I gotta protect some identities here. So this is what's going on. So I need the footage, right? So on Monday, October the 6th, and I don't feel safe going there at all. So I'm going to have to record this meeting just to make sure that I'm going to be okay, because Dean Duffy needs to be there, Dean Murdoch has to be there, an agent or the Solicitor General and Public Safety Minister has to be there, a Seniors Advocate agent has to be there, Police Complaints Commission agent has to be there, the Hate Crime Unit RCMP agent, one of them has to be there. Because the CCTV footage that was taken here from those SWAT assaults, that all needs to be looked at. We can't ignore what they did. We can't hide what they did. There's cameras everywhere. Why aren't they wearing body cams here? You've got the fucking District of Saanich here, got an operating budget of $500 million a year, and you can't outfit the oozing orifices with body cams? Wow. That's because you're a fucking mafia. You're a criminal cabal, and you don't want everybody to see what you're really doing. That's why you don't have body cams on. That would be the only reason why you wouldn't wear body cams. So we need to take a look at all of that. Because you, Damien, that is your name, Damien. Because if you're not going to respect my right to self-determination, your right to self-determination is not going to be respected. Mayor, chief, inspector, constable. Really? Who delegated you that authority? Who gave you that title? Do you even have an oath of office? Do you know what your statutory duties, responsibilities, and obligations are? So you need to provide, without redaction, all warrants, counsel, everything and anything you got. Because they've got cameras all over the demonic detachment. And then, of course, I was there, involved in all of it. So that's going to be a problem. Because I was there. I'm a first-hand witness to what was going on. You can imagine the amount of emails that go back and forth. You can imagine, can't you? The memos, the internal communications. Let's take a look at what you've got. I need to see everything that went between you, public serpents, and your friends here, the fictitious claimant, the Crown, the fictitious plaintiff. So I can't hand over my job to another oversight body. But they do need to be aware of what's going on, because this is a fucking serious problem in Canada, that the serpents are out of control. So it's a demand for action. And I require Well, you managed to fucking leave me with no wheels, and yet our family had 2 house cars. So I need a car. You're not going to leave me with no car. So the District of Saanich has a fleet and you got to know that Duthie and Murdoch more than likely have pretty nice rides. Oh, don't worry, I'll take care of your property. I had the same car for over 30 years. There's nowhere to run, there's nowhere to hide. What have you done? And why do you keep doing it? And who is helping me move the little I have left back into my house? I shouldn't have to pay for any of that. I shouldn't have to do all that work myself. And in order to do that work, I need wheels. And I have the inalienable right to have wheels because I had wheels. So, I mean, what the fuck are you waiting for? Why haven't you located the stolen Ford Focus and restored it to me? Why? That's your job. That's why you get paid 6 figures a year. You've had, well, you were the ones who made sure it was stolen in the first place. So you have all the information you would need to find it and have it returned. So why haven't you done that? What are you doing? You don't want to serve our people? You're supposed to be all about diversity and inclusion? Oh, but that's just lip service, right? Just lip service. So fucking tired of these fucking... that fucking zombie zoo.